Should Tesla Autopilot be added to vehicles inside of Roblox Greenville? Well, in this video I'm going to be talking about just that. So if you do enjoy, drop a like and subscribe, but of course, let's get straight into it. So I think it's only fitting if we speak about this topic in a electric car with autopilot itself, and that is of course Tesla. The Tesla Cybertruck would be a great example of a car that they can add autopilot to. So there's actually quite a few advantages and disadvantages to adding Tesla Autopilot to vehicles, and later on in the video I'm actually going to show you an example of exactly how this could work, which will be really awesome, so stay tuned. Well, let's talk about the bad thing about adding Tesla Autopilot first of all, and that is that it kind of takes away from the experience of the game. So let me explain what I mean a little bit here. So obviously we join onto Greenville, or even any driving game on Roblox. It's a driving game. We join onto them Roblox games to drive around in our cars and have fun racing with other players and driving with other players. And well, if you think about it, if we added autopilot to vehicles, then you turn it on and you just kind of sit there. For example, you've got cruise control. If cruise control's on, I just don't need to touch my keyboard anymore. I'm just doing the speed limit and I just sit here and look at a few pixels on my screen as they move around. I'm not touching my keyboard or anything right now, and that is kind of boring. So imagine if it was the whole vehicle that steered for you and avoided cars and stopped at traffic lights. You could literally just drive around and you wouldn't even need to be here. The reason autopilot on vehicles is good in real life is because it allows you to multitask. It allows you to do other things while you're driving to work, for example. It allows you to, do something else productive instead of just sitting there with your hands on the wheels, steering and braking and whatever. Letting the car do that for you is great in real life, but in Roblox it's not, because we all play Roblox for fun, to actually drive the vehicles that we purchase, not to just get productive and be somewhere, if you know what I'm trying to say. However, a good thing about it is that it would be very good, and it would encourage a lot of role plays and similar things like that. But of course it would be extremely difficult for them to actually add, because it's not something easy. It would take a huge amount of time. It would take hours and hours and hours, and would probably cost them a lot of money to actually pay the developers and get it made and things like that. And like I said, it would take a huge amount of time otherwise that they could be putting in to actual vehicles and other vehicles and map updates and making the game better in itself. I mean, realistically, how many of you guys would actually use autopilot on a vehicle if it was added? Because I assume probably not many people would, and not many people do, and that's fair enough, and that's why I think it shouldn't be added. But without speaking anymore, I'm going to show you a great example of how this could work. So this game I am in now is called AutoPilot Simulator, and this simulates Tesla Autopilot and any electric car autopilot, in fact, really well. So if I spawn in a car here, let's just go with a basic Tesla Model 3, right? Here it is. It's in a nice blue color because obviously I've played this game before. But you get in, and as you can see, we have this whole autopilot screen, which is literally what they have in a real life Tesla. You can do light shows, you can, do, I don't know what any of this is, but you can do loads and loads of cool stuff with this. But of course, the main reason you are watching this is for the autopilot. So for example, right here, it gives us the option to auto park. So if I press this, I am no longer touching my keyboard. My hands are not on my keyboard. I'm just going to move my mouse so you can see it a little bit better. But look how it drives in, and look how smoothly it turns. For example, you can't turn that smoothly if you are using a keyboard. And as you can see, it's parked us literally in the parking spot almost perfectly, pretty much completely perfectly. Like, it is so awesome how they've done that and how they've made this work inside of a Roblox game. And of course, even better than that, let's just drive onto the road here. Let's go onto the road. Let's just go over here, and we'll come here and turn on autopilot. And here we go. It's detected an intersection, so if we put on the left blinker, it should turn us left. Now, as you can see, it's stopped at a red light. Now, I'm not touching this. As you can see, it says here, stopping for traffic light auto turn possible, which is insane. So as I said, I'm not touching my keyboard right now. We'll wait until the traffic light turns, and it should turn us straight into the corner. Now, there we go. It's turned green, and there you go. It's turning us straight into the corner. You can see you cannot steer that well on the normal keyboard, and like you guys know, that's impossible. It's at the stop sign, it stopped, checked there was no cars, and it it drove straight through. Now hopefully at some point we'll actually pass another player, because they do actually show up on here on this little list. And as you can see, you can actually, let's turn on the left blinker quickly, and it should turn us left. So we've got this blue line, and as you can see, it turns us left. Now we can actually move around here. Look at this little screen. You can actually turn your camera here, and you can actually see the car and how it's moving along, and you can see like the sides of the road marked there. It's really cool how this works. And another really awesome thing about this is that you can actually navigate it. So if we just navigate back to the dealership we were just at, as you can see, it's literally given us a route and a waypoint, and it will just follow this now straight back to the dealership, so we don't have to do anything. Now this is where the problem comes in. As you can see, it's just driving for me now, so it's taking me back to the dealership. It's doing everything for me. I don't need to worry. It will stop through the cars, it will go through red lights. If for some reason I get rammed off the road or whatever, it will just take me back onto the road. You can see it's detected the speed sign, so it's 45 miles an hour, which is the speed limit, which it literally saw, which was on the side of the road, which is insane. This is the problem. As I said, it's kind of boring now. I'm just sat here, I'm not doing anything, got nothing to do. I'm just sat here looking at my screen, watching my car do its own thing. And when you think of it like that in a game like Greenville, it will get very boring, because people really like to drive cars in that game. So yes, it would be really awesome, and it would be an insane feature, especially if you're lost because there's no map in Greenville. Imagine how cool it would be if you could just navigate with Tesla Autopilot, or with any autopilot. It doesn't have to be on a Tesla, and it just takes you straight to your destination. Even though you don't have a map, it just knows where to go because it's using navigation on the car and driving you there itself. That would be really cool, but it would take away from the actual driving experience. So we're nearly arrived at the dealership. I think it's going to turn us left here. Yes, it is, which is pretty cool. And then the dealership is literally just there. As you can see, we've made it back to the dealership, and there's a lot of other cool things you could do with this as well. As I said, you can do like a light show, you can indicate, you can do music, you've got all of your lights here. And here we go. Let's turn off autopilot. I've disconnected autopilot now, so I'm driving myself. This game does lag quite a bit. I don't know why. I assume it's probably because of all the scripts and stuff they've got, but it's really cool. And this car is really fast as well, by the way. And another cool thing about that, I've turned on my desktop audio now. Look at this. Look how cool this is. You can see the car here, and you can also see it braking because I was approaching it too fast. So you can see the car on that screen, and then look at this. If we go over here and full screen this a little bit, as you can see, we can actually see the people that stand up here. So we can see this guy is stood up, and we can literally see him on this map along with everything else as well, which is just so awesome. Imagine they had that in Greenville where you could see other cars and other players. That would just be so awesome. We could see this player walking around. Look how cool that is when he was just moving around. And I think if I go to drive into him, yeah, you hear that beep? It literally tries to stop, and unless I actually run into him, then it actually does stop me. Unless you forcefully accelerate into them, then it doesn't stop you, of course, but that's the same in real life. It's so cool. You can see how fast I'm going, and it's giving me warnings for changing lanes and not staying in one lane and stuff. And this car does not steer at high speeds. Oh my goodness me. Let's do a quick top speed test. What speed can we get to? I think 187 is probably the top speed, but this would be so awesome if this was added to Roblox Greenville or any other Roblox game. So I'd love to hear your thoughts on it in the comments below. Thank you very much for watching this video. I hope you did enjoy it. Let me know in the comments, as I said, if you think they should actually add autopilot to vehicles inside of Roblox Greenville. But thank you very much for watching, and hopefully I'll see you in my next video. Bye!